I love you, Red. You know that.
All right, here we are, another episode of Power Hour tonight. I'm Steve, along with the Urban Sensation, the icon, C Red. Hello, Red.
Hello.
And joining us, I say it every time she comes on, and I'll continue to say it every time she comes on until we're done with this thing. Way back in 2014, this guy started his wrestling journey doing really bad commentary for PCW, and she was one of the first people to sit down and interview with me. And that was 11 years ago. So
I know. So,
we've been down a lot of roads.
I mean, I was your first Steve. I might as well be your last when this is over.
That's entirely possible. But we welcome back to the show, of course. One of our favorites. It is Angel. Hello, Angel. How are you today?
How are you, Steven?
I am doing great. Could not be better. It's great to have you here. I've been, people have been asking me, it's the few days before Frontline. Why are you having this Rapture sympathizer, et cetera, et cetera? And I say this, I said, I'm not dealing with the Rapture tonight. I'm dealing with an old friend. I'm dealing with someone whose career I have respected since the day I set foot in that industry. A champion everywhere you've been. You have set a standard that women's wrestling had to catch up to. They talk about the revolution that happened not so long ago. You were doing it the right way, the best way, long before they decided to call it a revolution. I'm not dealing with someone from the Rapture. I'm dealing with someone who's been in this business and deserves that respect. So tonight's all about respect, and it's all
Thank
about
you.
appreciation for how you've carried yourself throughout these years. You've been gracious. I'm going to say this. I'm going to shoot just a little bit because I've got some inside angst tonight that needs to come out just a little bit. When it comes to gratitude and when it comes to appreciation in this business, the examples of such are few and far between. Never, ever have I had to beg Angel to do anything I've needed, anything I've wanted, anything I've wanted her to participate in. She's like, you tell me when and where, and I'll
Mhm.
be there. And I have interviewed many a wrestler and had many a wrestler on this show. Red and I have interviewed, God, man, it's got to be, we got to be nearing on 500 to 1,000 at this point, but that's neither here nor there. Some people don't like to talk anymore. Some people, when you call them, they leave
Love
you
it.
unread.
Love
Some
it.
people get a little big for their britches. So for those that understand respect and understand that, be nice to the people you meet on the way up because you'll meet them on the way back down as well. You have always been incredibly
Oh,
gracious
thank
with
you,
your
Steve.
time,
See,
and we won't hold your marital choices against you on this program.
I mean, sorry, I'm sorry that Ben's a little butthurt, I guess, because you're interviewing me today and not talking about. I don't even know what to call Saturday. I hope it's the end of Ben McCoy and Joey Avalon. They can destroy each other. No skin off my behind.
You're right about, I mean, we'll talk plenty about Frontline as the evening goes on. There's a lot to say about what's happening in Bakerville this particular Saturday night. But that's not my main focus. I didn't ask you to come on specifically for Frontline. I mean, obviously, with the Liberty division heating up, it would certainly be interesting to have you as a part of that. We'll see where that goes as time goes by. I think your resume kind of speaks for itself. Looking at all those pictures that we put on the graphic for
Yeah,
the
you went
advertisement show,
back.
that was back in the day, and that even got December's attention. So
Oh yeah.
so she popped up, because if you go back to that original photo, I mean,
Yeah.
she's not on the show, so she got cropped out. A very
Yeah.
young Marche Rocket also got cropped out, but that's and a much younger Viral Boz got cut out as well. You wonder what happens to these people and what they become. Um, but I cropped out a lot of history on that photo to get a good shot of
Hmm.
your face. You haven't changed all that much, to be honest. You look very much the
Thank
same.
you.
So that's great. I mean, that was a long time ago.
God, that was what year did you say that was?
When I came to PCW, it was in
Yes.
October of 2014. Uh, what was the name of the event? It was something about Grave Matters, I believe, was the name of the event.
Yes,
If
because I
if Freon
had
was here, he'd know better than me, but I think that's what it was called.
It was something like that because it was right after, it had to been in September show, I believe, or no, it had to be August show because I blew my ACL out like 2 weeks prior to that show.
And that's how I met you. You were sitting at our interview at our table on crutches,
Mhm.
and you were
Yep.
being dogged by someone Red knows very well in the Queen of Mean, Renee Van Peebles.
No, I was getting dogged by PL, who trying to tell me how legit he is as a manager.
The Chicago connection, I know it very well. Um, but you've had a your career has been uh amazing when you think about longevity. I remember you having to give up the title
Yep.
to Renee Van Peebles in that ring. But then, time went on and you won many other titles. We went from PCW to Crash Tested.
Mm-hmm.
And you and Renee were just getting started at PCW, so it would seem, because I have to believe of all the Crash Tested shows that I did commentary for, you two fought in one way or another at just about all of them.
Yep.
I mean,
He has been my wrestling wife. And
geez,
I was December's at one point. So you just end
yes.
up being married to somebody.
So you went from December to Renee, and the rivalries between you and December, those are legendary. And she's been on this program and talked about that
Mm-hmm.
before. But the rivalries you had with Renee kind of defined me as a commentator because obviously I was getting experience along the way as I was watching you. And when she joined Dominion, and you guys had that any false count anywhere match, and you guys are wrestling on bleachers, and you got 6 people beating your ass, but you're still fighting back. That was impressive.
Thank you.
Where the
Nubby
hell?
hated it.
Where
Nubby
the hell
hated
was
it.
Red when all that was going down?
When what was going down?
When Renee was
Dominion?
in the Dominion, and
Mm.
that was before James Storm stole their gimmick. But that's a thing for another time.
I was traveling.
You were
No, Red, weren't you starting one of the greatest factions ever at Crash Tested at the time? With Aaron, John, and the
That
King.
when that was post Dominion.
Yeah, I
But
know that was Dominion, but
yeah.
wasn't Aaron and all them already together and you were rocking with the King of the Pre-Show?
Uh-oh, he's slowed down. He's taking a big drink because
Hello, am I froze? Y'all
you're,
froze? What the hell going on?
you're froze now, but we can at least hear you.
There you go, you're moving again.
I don't know what the hell going on.
It's the internet's technology.
Right.
I'm sure Elon and Trump have something to do with it.
Of course.
But obviously, that's a nice transition into the ARC. You did not have an affiliation in those days with the ARC, if I remember correctly. You were still pretty much Angel by herself.
Stood on my own.
One of the greatest memories, or one of the coolest things that happened that was never fully realized, was that Homewood show where December showed up and attacked you from behind after being gone for years.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about that would have set forth a story arc, because people were goddamn excited about that.
Oh, I was so excited. I wish it would have happened. I wish it would have happened. We would have had so much fun. We always had fun together. We came up with some of I'm not saying it was by far revolutionary in any way when we did it, but we challenged each other. I mean, we made each other better. We loved working each other.
I find that that's pretty much been your calling card, even now, at this stage of the game, is you always get in that ring and you challenge people, right down to Erica D'Erico at SCW more recently.
Erica, no show, D'Erico, no show.
Well, we're not going to go down that road. I don't need the real Godfather putting dead horses in my bed. That's for sure.
Oh, please. He's down in Bama.
Terry Allen's tough, but that's another story. So here we are. It's 2025. You started this business. I mean, you were in it a while before I came around. When did you start? What was the exact year that you started? Was it like 11 or something like that, or was it earlier than that?
Let me think about this. It's been a hot minute. So I started.
Just know I was there.
Red, you and I have been together forever. When did I start? Oh, Brad, what year did CSW start? Like a
Shit,
full,
I couldn't tell you.
like what was that? Like 2011? No, 2011, 11, 10, 11,
Something like that.
something like that. Yeah.
Because that graphic that I used was from a CSW flyer.
Yeah, I know that. That was like probably like one of my first. That was probably my first promo pick of awkwardness.
God,
'Cause
you were a child. You were a
I
child.
was, I was. I mean, I was probably deemed old by wrestling standards, but yeah, I was. I think, 25, 26 at the time. I was a baby.
Yeah,
But probably, like I said, deemed now compared to everybody starting at 16, I was geriatric.
that's fair. That's fair. Um, what do you remember about the early days and being a woman in wrestling? You know, 09 to 11, not the dark ages by any means, but you know, it was still divas. It was still relegated to very minimal spots on shows, if I remember correctly.
So I remember is what I remember when I finally had gotten like the confidence after a year of training, because I was just like, I want to do this. I want to do it right. I don't want special treatment. I'm not doing it where it's like 6 months and I make a fool of myself. I've never been like that. As soon as like I was ready to hit it and go, everybody like left. Like Melanie Cruz, I think, left PCW. No, not PCW, sorry. She left POW, was going to Japan, and she was going all over. Uh Nikki St. John was just moved to Kentucky or so Ohio to do OVW.
God, she was so good.
Yeah, I got to wrestle her though. I did one show with her. It was great. And then Taylor May just kind of
I remember
did
her.
her own thing. So everybody just like kind of left when I started. It was kind of hard to find women. And if you were finding women, it was then the travel, it was the cost, and it was, they didn't see the value in it, because if somebody wanted more than some of the guys, then it was like, well, I don't see the value in it. So we'll be fine. We'll just, whatever. If we can find somebody cool, if not, no big deal.
So it was not easy in those early days
No,
to
in the early days, it was
get
not,
it.
because like I said, everybody just kind of left, which was fine. They went and did their own things. I mean, Nikki was doing great down at OVW. I think Mel had traveled to Japan and all that for like a month or so.
So who were you working in those early days? Who were you cutting your teeth on? What were some of the performers? Are they still around?
December and I, because she's the one that got me into PCW, because we just had a great first match and was like, we need girls at PCW. They kind of were starting, they had December, they had other women there that they were using, and they were like, let's bring more in. Like, let's just, so it's always fresh, always, able to do something new with different people, doesn't matter. I did one with Stacy Shadows. Stacy's still working now randomly at times. I know she had a baby and
She
getting
was in
back
Bruce
into the
City.
fold.
Her home was Bruce City for the
Yep.
longest time.
She was in Bruce City, and then it kind of went away, and then Lisa, aka Scarlett, started training, was around for a while, and then she went out and did her thing.
So you've
You blinked and she was gone.
She was gone. She was doing her own thing.
Red, what do you
I mean-
remember from Angel from those days back? Because you were there, right there when she started. What do you remember about her when you first saw her? And try to keep it above board here. 'Cause
What?
I know what you were thinking when you first saw her, but let's kind of
Right.
the wrestling thing.
I was
Oh,
like,
we
damn. I was
We
like,
had great rivalries with Hunter Payne and Marco against the Soul Touchers. It was great. It was like I heard Windy City all over again.
it was. That's all it was.
You can't throw a quarter and not hit Windy City even to this day. It's amazing.
I mean, of course, I'm gonna say she was hot. I mean, shit, she's still hot. But I mean,
She's such
shit,
a fucking whore.
when she
Why we
walked
love
in,
ya.
I'm just telling the
But-
fucking truth. You asked for the truth. I'm telling
I
you the truth.
did.
So, I mean, then you wonder, like, I was praying to God, and I'm not gonna mention any names, but I was praying to God she wasn't going down the route of somebody else that she used to wrestle, who I won't name. But
Uh-oh.
she
Are you
was
throwing
horrible.
shade?
She was horrible as a wrestler. She was horrible as a valet, and she just slowly died off.
Talking about Levi?
No, but she could be in the same category.
Okay.
And the more and more Angel hung around, the more and more I honestly felt like she was one of the boys.
Oh,
Like she wasn't taking shit lightly. You know, a lot of people would bitch when you got to set up a fucking ring. And especially in that fucking building where we were running, you had
mm.
to carry that shit upstairs. But she did it.
Yeah, I was the best
I
at
mean,
setting up chairs. I'm not gonna. I am the best chair setup person.
and I mean, you know, she didn't just hang around the locker room just to hang around the locker room. Like you could see her picking people's brains. Like, you know, okay, so if I do this, what should come next? You know, okay, what's the reason for doing that move? You know, so she wasn't a fucking rat. Let's just call it what it is.
Thanks, Ed.
She was a worker. She was a real fucking worker, you know. So the more she got out there and she worked, I was happy. You know, I left CSW, you know, and she was still fucking working. And then we all wound up at Crashers. And I'm to this day, my favorite match is her beating the shit out of Renee in that cage. As unstable as that fucking cage was,
God,
Oh,
that
that
cage
one.
was
I would say it's
terrible.
definitely not one of my best ones, but yeah.
but yeah, it was because you put a whooping on her ass. And I was like, oh shit, and I'm supposed to do what? Because I remember when I got there, I was told, oh yeah, there's a spot with you and the door. And
Oh yeah.
I'm like, okay. But the fucking door was damn near ready to fall off. I'm like, so how the fuck am I supposed to do a spot?
It
And the
feels
damn
like
door is getting ready to fucking fall. It was like if you sneezed, the whole cage was gonna come down. So I didn't want to touch the fucking door.
I
So
kicked I think I did this spot and I kicked the door down. It just came off
and
the hinges.
right, and it was like, well, there go that spot.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah, should have
Ad
went out the
lib.
damn cage.
But I mean, Angel has always been that chick for me. Like if you ask, like, here's somebody you need, you know, you need a woman's wrestler, here she is. And like she said, when she came, it was just coincidental,
Mm.
you know, that everybody that was had started to make a name here, all the women started leaving and going elsewhere because guess what? Aren't too many opportunities here in Chicago. So you
Yep.
gotta go where you gotta go. And I mean shit. Like she said, Mel went to fucking Japan and then came back. And what was it? It was either TNA or
AEW.
AEW. You know, I mean shit. So her stint in Japan got a spot on TV. I mean shit,
Yeah, she shaved her head for that shit.
Again,
She still looked good.
Yeah.
look at Scarlett. Shit. Again, this chick was literally around a blink. Like, oh, she's cute. Okay. Oh, she's got a little sex appeal. Okay. Damn, she gone. And then you turn around and her ass is every fucking where else. And
Mhm.
I was like, well, I guess TNA sells. And next thing you know, now she's on fucking TV
Yep.
on Friday nights. I guess, yeah, Fridays. So it's like shit. I mean, I watched the podcast today and they said how people are picked is the luck of the fucking draw,
Yeah.
you know. But I would rather have Angel on TV versus
Aw.
half of the chicks that's on there just because oh she's got a great fucking body. Like that's why I'm watching uh the new reality show just to see if they're giving the people that don't necessarily look the part,
Right.
give them a shot.
And I actually had that conversation with Ryan with watching NXT, and you see like the NIL, and I have my whole gripe with the NIL thing they're doing. But it's like now everybody, oh, they're a gymnast, they're a soccer player, and you're like, Okay, so we're typecasting again.
We're just doing it in a different way.
Yeah. I was
It,
like, what about the people who are out there literally cutting their teeth on the road, the ones who are getting the experience?
it seems like they like to draw from other sports. I don't know if it's the need to draw
It's
fans from other sports in, or they just think getting
it's the
athletes,
athleticism of the
they can
sport.
train the athleticism. I get it, but here's the thing about people from other sports coming into wrestling and to be trained. You know, when you wrestle for a long time like you have, and Red and everybody, you develop a idea of how to gravitate and play to the crowd.
Mhm.
And even right now, their big shiny toy that was not a homegrown wrestling talent, Logan Paul.
I can't stand him.
As
Can't do
good
that.
as he is for their numbers and their social media, etc., he's an athlete. There's no doubt about it, and
Slap in the face to everybody who works.
he's developing into maybe a competent wrestler, but I think he is far from main event talent. And I think he is awful on the mic. And I think he is awful interacting with the crowd. It is so forced, and you can tell
It,
he memorizes it and comes to try to
well,
regurgitate
I
it.
mean, don't get me wrong. I was not a fan of Ronda Rousey wrestling Eddie at all. I thought that was a complete waste of a contract. But she made a valid point. She's okay. She didn't want to be on the road every day, but she's like, I can't get better, even though you get better being in the ring. But hey, if I got 3 months out of three every quarter, I get to work every day practicing for 8 hours a day, going over one match. Yeah, I look like a superstar. I look great.
It's funny what having a shoot job does to your ability to commit. And like I said, many people, shoot job be damned. I mean, they're still on the road.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about Sierra and Joey Avalon specifically because I was just speaking about them online. You know, they have regular jobs just like you, just like me, just like Red, and they're still driving and traveling 10,000 miles a
Yeah.
year. And I don't know. I mean, at that pace, I mean, I don't know how they do it.
Oh no, that I give them credit. I mean, you have to have a job with flexibility. My problem was when I was starting the business, I worked weekends and it was mandatory work weekends.
Oh boy, yeah,
I
that'll
couldn't, just hop in the car and drive to South Dakota to go work Lisa that weekend or go work some random girl down in Nebraska. I had to work, and if I had to take off, I needed more than a week's notice, and you kind of have to make it worth my drive.
right.
At least, let me break even, get a hotel room for me, pay my gas, something.
Make me
At least even.
not
I
make me
mean,
not lose in the
right.
endeavor.
I mean,
Uh,
I'm gonna lose money. I'm gonna buy coffee and buy food, but at least cover the expense of everything else.
get cover the stuff that I would normally be doing.
Right.
Exactly. Boy, wrestling is a tough business when it's a part-time job, that's for sure. I have found that over the last few years myself, to a certain extent. You've wrestled a lot of women, you've wrestled a lot of men, you've wrestled a lot of athletes over your years.
Mhm.
Do you have a short list of people you've really enjoyed, and do you have a short list, almost more impressively, of people you just want to never remember that you had to work with them?
Oh, oh, I have lots of ones I don't want to remember, but I think one of my favorite was me and Jack Moody. Me and Moody at Crash Tested.
That was the after the cigar lounge, and yeah,
that
that was
was
a hell of
my
a program.
well, I think we went like 20, 25 minutes for whatever reason. We were actually given time to work. And at that point, then I was like, from there, I was like, okay, I can do 20. I want to do an Ironman from there.
Oh my God. Gotta remember those that well, Jack Moody is he's not wrestling right now.
Mhm.
Life has gotten in the way for him, but boy,
Such a God.
his match versus the Invisible Man in Tinley Park for what was it, DWA? No, I think it was actually GPW before that whole thing blew up. Uh
Mm.
he fought the Invisible Man in a Halloween match, and I've seen many people do the Invisible Man gimmick over the years. Nobody did it like him.
He had some of the best promos. I loved some of his promos. They were great.
Yeah, they're he will go. He will be remembered fondly because he was a thespian at heart, and he could just do some crazy shit and make it work. So you liked working with Jack. Who else?
Love Jack, love December. We had great times. I think Renee and I have had great matches together. We've had some matches where we probably didn't bring our A game, but we've had some good stuff.
Yeah, you and those are two rivalries that are very, very near and dear to my heart because they're some of the first things that I ever got to see and be a part of. And I'll always remember them. I'm still hoping that you guys get to run some of this stuff back at some point because you know,
and Walker, yes, we will.
well, yeah, you guys could get out there in a 50 and over match or something down the road.
Right, I'm in.
Red will be the ref.
That's fine. We won't make Red run.
Red, don't look so happy.
I ain't roughing.
We're gonna do it right in the middle. We're gonna work, just gonna work right in the center of the ring. It's gonna be a bunch of rest holds. First one to tap. Make it easy on you.
You've worked with some of the younger talent over your years. Talk about that when you get into the ring with someone who maybe doesn't have a ton of experience. What does that work for you? What is it like?
So that one is about challenging myself to see how I can get the most out of the match, but also make that person look good, get them over, depending on, you know, which way we're going. Am I the baby? Am I the heel? It challenges me to make sure I do the get them over, get them booed. You know, how do we make something out of nothing? And how do we make magic happen? So that's the challenging part of it itself. If you have someone who's limited, you're like, okay, what can we do to get you to shine out and be the best you can be, but not make it look like crap while we're doing it?
Has there been one young athlete that you fought that you thought was really good? And on the flip side, is there one that you're like, oh God, you better stop doing this now?
Me and Sierra, I think I had like one of Sierra's first like
She
years.
was a child when she broke in.
Yes. Yes. She came to CTW. We had a match. I think we got everything put together, figured out in like 5 minutes because it was like, you go, you guys are on next. Here we go. And it was just, let's go. Yeah.
Those were back in the days where she would actually have a conversation with me. My, how times have changed. I won't ask you
to me, and everybody thinks she talks to me, and everybody thinks I'm always the mean one.
Right, exactly. Well, you got that cred. I'm still searching for the cred somewhere down that road. Okay,
I'm still trying to figure out who started that rumor.
I'm telling you what, you don't have to name a name, but kind of give me a scenario when you work somebody that didn't have it, or you're like, what is happening?
I'll give you the name, Mia Martinez. That match, if you can name everything that can go wrong in a match, it went wrong.
So where was this at and when was this?
This was CSW while we were still working at Mother Guerin High School back.
Yeah, Bishop Guerin.
Yeah, so this was pre-Hades time. So
I don't even like to acknowledge the days before Hades anymore.
This was pre-Hades. Yeah, so this was massively pre-Hades.
Hey, damn it, some of us worked before Hades.
Sorry. I'm just saying.
Some of us worked with Hades.
Right.
But Red, I don't know if you may have been there. But this was the one we go to lock up. She gives me a black eye in the lockup from headbutting me.
Oh my God.
Literally just flings her head black. I could just tell right then and there it's a black eye.
Holy shit. That's an unfortunate beginning. How do you bounce back from that? You get a concussion in the first
No,
move?
I didn't. It looked like I didn't get a concussion. So the match is going on, and she had this I don't even know what her gear was like, but it was a leotard, but the leotard snapped from underneath her. So it wasn't like a gymnastics one where it's all put together and you just put it on, and it had a snap underneath it. And somehow during the match, the leotard snapped up. The pants or shorts she was wearing came down, and there was just panties everywhere.
So it was like a WWE Divas match.
Yeah, and it was just one of those like, what? And like, I think I was in the middle of giving heat, and it's like, well, like I don't want, you don't need a boob exposed. You don't want everything else showing to the crowds. It was like, okay, like go over there, like try to get yourself put back together. It was just, everything that could go wrong in a match happened. Because at the same time, I have Marco and Hunter Payne on the outside looking like, what the hell is going? Like one of those, like, did that just really happen? Like, yeah, it's happening. It's literally happening right now in a match.
real time. Wow, that's impressive. Have you ever had a wardrobe malfunction in a match over your years?
I think I've had one, and I think I caught it. I think I've had two. One I caught quick enough, and the other one was a still photo that got taken during a match that I thought it was a shadow. Someone else was like, it's you, it's an you had an exposure, and I was like, okay, they took the photo down. It wasn't like a 911. It was just like something got caught during a pile driver. It is what it is.
No Janet Jackson egregious.
No, like I said, the only reason, I mean, if you were in the ring, the only reason it got caught was there was a still frame photo. Like it was just somebody, it was just the photographer took the photos and they take it, shot. And he just
Camera
posted
never
it because it
lies.
was the best angled shot, and somebody noticed it. I didn't notice it. Aaron didn't notice it. We were like, oh, okay.
Oh, you said the name. Why did you say the name? Don't say that name. Because now I have to ask the question.
What? What's the question?
Of all the professional athletes you've surrounded yourself with all through these years, of all the eligible wrestlers that have come around, why in God's name did you choose him to walk down the aisle with?
Insurance, and he can cook. Everybody, and everybody, all these young kids, oh, he's a 10. 10 ain't paying my medical bills. 10 ain't making me dinner at night.
That is truth. That is real truth right there. I kid. You guys have been
He's got a
married
good
for a
personality.
long time. But I want to, ask you this. I mean, typically it is not necessarily smiled upon in this industry to date amongst the workers. It never seems to end well. I have I have witnessed firsthand the calamity and catastrophe that can come. I have seen a family and a company unravel because of said chicanery. And there aren't many wrestling couples that tend to make it for the long term. You and Aaron, you guys have been at least 15 years now, right? 10
years total.
That's a long time. That's a long time to be married, especially with your schedules and such. I know Kylie and Isaiah have been married for quite a while. They have a kid now, just like you guys do. But you can count on one hand, the number of success stories that are out there. I mean, Creed and
Being a worker, don't
Sasha.
count.
It's just it doesn't happen where it seems to last. And you look at historically, you look at Cena and Nikki Bella. That's a very widely.
I go off of Robin Kim. That right there, marriage, wrestling couple, king and queen of it right there.
Yeah, we're fixing to
Robin
see
Robin Kim, wrestling.
Oh yes,
golden couple,
but again, as you stated, Kim wasn't in the business,
right?
And they had got together way before, and that's just like Hunter and Danielle. So I mean, we all see the variables of me and mine.
But Kim's always there. She was always supporting. She's always there. But Kim's just an awesome, amazing person who.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
I mean, let's be honest. She ain't scared of nobody. She would have beat someone down if she had to.
True.
And let's be honest. Everybody fears Danielle, not Hunter.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we fear.
Right. Ain't that the truth?
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about, failures in relationship, and just look at Red and Diamond. That didn't end well.
I mean, it did and didn't. I mean, we had 25 years together. I mean, you can't, I don't necessarily look at it all. I don't like to look at the bad. I like to remember the good.
She was the best at making, I needed her to cut a shirt up for me. She had that thing cut up, torn up, ready for me in 5.5 minutes. She was great.
So I mean, I will never dog her as far as um she was a great opponent. Nothing better than getting in the ring and taking your marital issues out in the middle of the ring.
Was
One of
really
my
fun.
one of my favorite photos of all time, and it's on my work computer too. That's how much I love that photo. It's me stretching the shit out of in Wisconsin. Um, but I mean, things happen. We grew apart, and it happened, and I'm in a much better place. Um, and I've got somebody now that again, wrestling brought me to. So I mean, you know, but I honestly, again, there are other horror stories that again, and
Horrible.
I won't mention, trust me,
Oh,
where wives are,
oh, this is where I need Turtle to come on here because
No,
Turtle
you
and I.
don't. No, Turtle
Uh
and I are not speaking, so no.
oh, what happened between you and
Oh
Turtle?
no, I'm sorry. Turtle and I, we did Travis's show on Sunday.
He told me that he was calling me out for
Yes, so
thinking
Travis
that
did
he
want me to tell you
couldn't.
he's better than you, and I was like, it's gray areas.
Like I said, it's not hard to be better than me. So
And then Turtle actually agreed with one of my points, and Turtle never agrees with me.
well, he's a big wrestler now, so you gotta.
Oh, I know.
He's got that. He when he was a ref and he was PTP. Paulie's going to be on in a few weeks, and we'll get all that PTP stuff. He was humble and hungry. And now he's a Rocket Pro Wrestling superstar. He's loved by millions, and now he doesn't have time. If he didn't have time,
I'd say 10.
I love Turtle though. Turtle and
Yeah.
I have been through a lot of shit together, but he and I lived through the hell that was a bad wrestling breakup. We
Oh.
lived through that and lived to tell about it.
and I laugh my ass off about
There was a
I laugh
lot.
it off. I love everybody else's trauma, not mine.
Right.
it. No,
I
I'm gonna be honest. When I heard about that shit, I laughed,
God damn.
and I picked my side. Everybody know who my side was, and I love her, But that other side, I laughed my ass off. I was like, "Karma's a bitch," and she just power bombed the shit out of your ass.
Yeah, it
So
was I learned everything I've learned about how bad things can get. I learned during that experience, and I was very, very naive. That'll kill the naive in you pretty quick.
Oh yeah.
As the walls come down around you and you're trying to hold that shit up, it doesn't work out so well. But that's a story for the end. There will be a final power hour where I will exercise all of the demons and
Oh,
probably have an aneurysm doing it because
you
I
won't.
have some receipts across this business that I need to fulfill. And that will be done before this is over. Because when it's over for me, I'm not coming back. I'm not doing 16 retirements. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not built
You're
for that.
entitled to at least 5 right now.
No, I just don't. I don't see the need for it. Plus, I'm an older guy, and I need to. I don't need to get hurt. I'm still worried about this. The situation I'm in with Shaq Jordan. So, but we'll talk more about that later.
Hey, ooh, what'd you do? What have you been up to?
We'll get into that. There was a disaster that almost has to happen this past weekend at roller derby, but we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Back to the couples in wrestling, and I've always been very interested in this part. In ordinary life, in regular relationships, temptation is all around. You are amongst, very physically fit, charming, theatrical individuals that tend to think their shit doesn't stink. And not necessarily you per se, but I have watched the amount of hitting that goes on to the female superstars by all of the workers. Now, some places it happens more than others. There are places where it's just disgusting, and especially when they're visiting dignitaries. It just makes my skin crawl. I'm not one of those people at a show that will go up to all the superstars and get the selfie, and maybe
No.
someday I'll regret that. But to me, it's like, I got a chance to call their match. That's good enough for me. They shook my hand and said, "Nice job." That's good enough for me. I don't need all the selfies. Fortunately, at Frontline, when Kurt Angle was there, Ben required photography of Kurt with the staff, so I got to have some of that, which I'll treasure forever. But I watch it consistently,
Mhm.
and it happens all over the place. How do you deal with that? I mean, you're in a monogamous relationship with a man you've been with for 10 years, and you've always been pretty strong with that resolve, but that doesn't stop the howling commandos from howling. How do you deal with that?
Put your foot down. I mean, this
Put
is a funny story.
put
This
on their
was
neck?
no, this was just more of a hilarious. These are two hilarious stories. So I think I was doing one show for Nate at Northland before it was like South. It was SCW Northland.
Yep, Northland.
Derek St. Holmes was there, and obviously when you manage, you don't. Well, at least when I manage, how I dress in real life and how I dress when I manage are two different people.
Sure.
So I had on a fantastic push-up bra and a shirt on. So obviously, so I went to go talk. I said something to Boz, and Derek's eyes never left my chest. And it was just, I caught it and I'm like, "Can I help you?" And he's just like, "Oh, nothing." And I'm like, "Okay." And then you make the joke of it, like you got caught red-handed. I mean, like I don't try to make anybody feel shitty about it. Like it happens. I mean, don't get me wrong. Let's see, I'm trying to think of a good wrestler. Who was it? Evan Bourne. Not Evan. Yeah, Evan Bourne. I told Ryan, Evan Bourne is on my list. Like everybody gets that list. Like you meet these 5 people, they are on your list. You cannot get in trouble for them. Dreamwave Wrestling Show. I'm on crutches with one leg after I blew my knee out. Evan Bourne's there. Ryan tells him, "Oh, you're on my wife's list." He thought it was the funniest, like it was the greatest thing in the world. Like that someone was like, "Yeah, you're on my wife's list." So it's totally fine.
It's totally fine.
And made the joke of it. Like he joked with me. It was like partially embarrassing because it was like my little secret, but my husband, let's throw it out for the world.
It
Yes.
wasn't no secret.
No.
We was in the locker room like,
one of my favorite Angel impropriety stories happened at the hands of Red's best friend,
who the fuck?
Teddy Long.
Oh, I love Teddy.
Fuck
Teddy is the
Teddy
mayor.
loved you. Teddy loved you
Teddy
maybe a
loved
little
me.
too much. Take
Teddy
us
was
back to
the
that
man.
moment, because I was there and I remember that shit.
Which one? Which Teddy Long one? Because
We were up filming a sequence in a boardroom,
I remember that one.
which I was
I forgot about that shit.
I think I was filming it, or I was involved in it because I was
You were
doing
there.
I was there. I was in the room. It was you, Teddy, Xavier, and the white.
BJ.
Take us back to that moment in time, because that is still one of the most insane things I've ever seen.
Which one? The ones Chop City bitch or
No, when he was propositioning you right in front of your husband.
oh. Teddy just likes the white girl. I don't know. White girl with a big ass. I don't know. Player did tell player Aaron that if I wasn't as old as I was, he could have gotten me signed.
Teddy had the exact opposite reaction with C-Red. He's trying to sign Angel. He's trying to tell you how to do your job on the same night, probably.
It was the same night.
Brad, don't ever change. You're perfect the way you are and how you manage.
Thank you.
I remember when Red joined the show back in the LRP days, and I had to break the news to him that we were going to be interviewing Teddy Long, and I think Red almost quit. But we talked him back down, and it was a good interview.
I mean, when I lived in Schiller Park, when E was always in town at the Rosemont, all the wrestlers came to the gym I worked at, and Teddy Long was like that with everybody, like the mayor of the gym, talking to every woman, talking to everybody.
Oh God, it was so funny. And at one point, Aaron said, "Yeah, that's my girlfriend." That was my favorite moment. The realization on Teddy Long's, because you weren't married at that time, you were
No,
just dating, and Teddy got
I
that.
mean,
Not bad, player.
that's okay. I mean, I met Cole Cabana 4 times before he actually. I met him 4 times just at shows when he was working CSW. Same idea. Was doing something, push-up bra on and a t-shirt. Then he's like, "Hi, I'm Colt," and I'm like, "I know, I've met you like 4 times."
It's amazing what a statue of Samoa
Amazing
Joe.
what like a good Victoria's Secret bra can do. It's honestly amazing, you know. Usually it's my
Respect the underwire.
usually it's my back end that people remember, never my front end, but I guess you know what, Vicky works some magic.
And there you go. So what about now? What at this point, you're still wrestling in different places. You're still out. You were doing Evil Gains Neville, and you guys were really tearing it up at SCW. Some really great stories and some really great matches. Uh, I still remember that show where you brought me a diet shake, and there was a lot going
It's
on.
Christmas. We're
It was
just getting you ready for the new year.
That's right. So it was very fun times, and you guys were really doing well with your character. And then Evil Gains Evil just kind of went away. Um, do you think that
Damn.
will ever come back? You'll ever do something like that again, or do you think the best days are behind you?
Oh no. Oh no, we still have so much more ahead of us. So much
What
more.
do you want to do? I mean, at this point, I mean,
At this
I
point,
kind of feel like you have a pet. You've earned the ability to at least compete where you'd like to. And you should be getting opportunities, in different places. Where are you
at,
at with, what you want to do next?
at this point, I am hoping that after many hostile negotiations with Frontline on a on a debut day.
So are we thinking that maybe you will ring some Liberty bells at some point?
We're gonna totally ring Liberty bells. Don't you worry.
Because that,
We're
you know,
definitely gonna be ringing bells.
one of the things that I've always wanted to do, and see, that's the great thing about Frontline. And people have thought maybe my love for Frontline had waned because I haven't been there in a minute. But that's absolutely couldn't be further from the truth.
Right.
Frontline has done more for me than I will ever be able to do for them. Which I am grateful, and I will work tirelessly to make it right. But they've afforded me some great opportunities. And in August of this year, I've always wanted to work and commentate an all women show. And Liberty Bells is happening in August. So I'm very excited to be a part of that. Um, have you seen the belts?
Yes.
I mean, there are wrestling championship belts, and then there's the Liberty Division belt, the Liberty Championship. That is one of the most attractive belts I've ever seen. When you saw that, how excited did that make you? Because, although, belts, have a relative meaning. I mean, a good looking belt instills a certain amount of pride. How did you feel looking at that belt?
I was happy it wasn't pink. I was so happy.
Oh God, that's so done. We are
I'm
we are
so glad.
we are we are we are so far removed from the
I'm so
divas
glad it
doing it.
wasn't. But you never know. I've seen companies still do it, and you're just like, hmm. No,
Yeah.
it looked good. It looked good. I like it. I like that it's following kind of I'm trying to think how, like, frontline, you think service, Army, Navy, Marines.
It's got a fatigue quality to it.
Right. And it kind of follows like that, like Liberty, obviously, like I said, it's a service thing. I like it. Statue of Liberty, not we'll make work, but I still like the idea of the Liberty Bell and everything else like that.
So do you feel like that would be a belt you could win?
Oh God, yeah.
Because
Oh, yeah.
there's some pretty talented wrestlers. I mean, you'd get reacquainted with Sierra real quick.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have I can't wait to get reacquainted. I cannot wait.
She is she's working at a level right now.
Oh, she's tearing it up. I'm not gonna deny that. I mean, her match with Jake Parnell, my God, that was
I'm
match
not
was
gonna lie
phenomenal.
to you. I dog Jake Parnell because it's my job to. but that match he had with Sierra was transcending. And he just did it again this past
Which one?
Friday night
Oh,
in CSW, where he had a match versus Maggie Lee. And that will go down this year as one of my favorites because it was what they did when it comes out on IWTV, when it's available to view. It really is one of those moments in time where you're just happy to be in the building seeing what's happening. And Maggie won. Maggie beat him. And Maggie didn't accidentally beat him. Maggie won the match straight up. So it was a really cool moment for everybody involved. But you know, these are the measuring sticks now. And women are getting better and better. It's not women's wrestling to me anymore. I don't like that term as much as I like just saying wrestler.
right.
I don't call Sierra a woman wrestler anymore, even though that's what she is. She is very capably one of the best I've ever seen.
Mhm.
Certainly, you I've referred to you that way many times over the years. You know, Maggie, and certainly will reach that very soon. But the gap is closed, in my opinion. I find that there are, you know, some female talents out there that are better than much of the male talents, and I think that's a very telling part of the business and where it's headed. How do you feel?
I mean, I've always looked at it, like I said, I went through that period where I didn't have female wrestlers around me. So I trained with the guys, I hit like the guys, and I wrestled the guys. And I mean,
Mr. Jericho can attest to that.
correct. So, I mean,
Not nice. Not nice.
but you can, I mean, strength for strength. I mean, am I as strong as any guy? There might be some, I might squat a little more, maybe, but
Stronger than Red.
we'll see. Me and Red will do a test of strength. You know,
Come on,
there's, you know, strength for strength. Is it, are we going to be equal? Probably not. But you know what? I might be a little faster. I might be a little more cunning. Might be a little dirtier when I play the game. Just
What's
is
you're
what it is.
younger and Red's an old man now.
Oh, Red's not old.
Red, you're not old. You're just broken in.
He's
Season.
like a fine wine. He's gotten better with age.
He really has. He really has. He's
Or a fine barrel of, I don't know, bourbon, maybe some, you
yeah,
know,
he's a barrel of
bourbon.
bourbon with a cigar. No, he what he's doing at C3 right now is pretty remarkable. And I just saw his son cut a promo. I tried to put son and cut together and didn't work out so well.
No.
His son cut a hell of a promo on him recently, which I thought was very interesting.
Wasn't on me.
Not on you. Not on
just-
you.
He
Not
just
on you or the
mentioned my
board.
name. He just mentioned my name. That's all.
He's gonna beat your ass.
No, he's not.
He might beat your ass. All right,
Red's
so
Red's got a flapjack, some knucks. Red's coming prepared.
Would you see that this is the Steve that he doesn't know this guy. Like, would you tell him I used to carry all my shit?
Oh yeah, you. If there was a fight after a show, you went to Red for a weapon.
nice. Yeah, Red's my friend, and Red's got my back everywhere we go. So I don't worry about Red and a flapjack. I know he's always going to be there when I need him, and that will never change. What are you looking like that for?
Oh, no reason.
You going first?
Guess so. I guess so. Women's wrestling, we were talking about,
Mhm.
you know, all the talented people that are out there now. It's come a long way.
Yes.
It's now, you know, main event status in places. I mean, we've had, you know, women's matches be the main event on TV at, you know, in indie shows. What's next? Where do you think women in wrestling go moving forward? Obviously, that movie just came out with Emily Beth Richards, Queen of the
Mhm.
Ring, that everybody is wild about. So the popularity is there and it's just getting bigger. Where do you see it going from here?
I mean, only place it can go. I mean, I'm sure, I think he's already talking about doing another Revolution show, all women. I mean, they've got 900 women. You might as well broadcast them because we're only seeing 6 on TV now.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I mean, it's going to go where it's going to go. I mean, you can, like anything, it's got to make sense. You got to have the talent to do the show. If it's not making you money, no one's going to do it. So you have to have the backbone and the balls to say, you know what, I may lose money with it, but I'm going to build it up enough that it's going to make money in the end.
Yeah. So give me your top 10 female wrestlers that are working right now. Can be on TV, can be locally. Give me your top 10. Give me 10 that you think.
Oh my God, 10?
I want 10.
10, okay. Gail Kim, hands down, like that would have been my dream match.
And she just got let go by TNA.
I know. Maybe she might come back to the ring. You never know.
Never know.
You never know. Sierra, Kylie.
Kylie got that WWE ID stamp.
Yeah. No, that's great for her. I mean, dear God, I think she was training pregnant. I was pregnant. I was chilling out. She was still flipping around in a ring. Good for her.
I was in freelance the night she came back. I was there because Sierra and Avalon were fighting Laney and GPA that night. And I was there representing the CSW brand because it was brand versus brand. And nobody knew she was going to be there. And when her music played and she came out as a surprise return, you could feel, I hadn't felt energy in a building like that since I was there at that Monday Night Raw where Hogan and The Rock stood face to face in the ring for the first time. You could feel it in your chest. You could feel it resonating through the building, and it was a pretty impressive moment. So,
I mean, I think I went down to Dreamwave, watched her first match down there. I forgot who it was. And I mean, the two of them tore it up. It was like she never missed a step.
yeah, she's outstanding, and she's still as good as she ever was. Who else?
Oh, who else? Let me think. Oh, wait, what was that? So I said Gail, Sierra, Kylie.
You got 7 more.
I got 7 more. Lita.
Well,
I'm pretty sure, I think like me and December took a ton of stuff between Lita and Trish, like their rivalry together, the things that they were doing, because they were wrestling at the time.
And they still look great in the ring.
And they still look phenomenal. Yoga's amazing, I guess.
Trish went. She went done.
Well, Trish does yoga and Pilates, but I'm too uptight for Pilates and yoga, so I ain't never gonna make it there.
For sure.
I am. I will tell you I am.
So do you consider Trish and Lita like one?
They're together. They're a tag team, yeah. They're a tag team. Who else has been great? I think Henley from NXT. I love the character. I think I want to steal like half her moveset where some of the stuff she does I think is great. Oh my God. Brittany Brooks has been tearing it up. I mean, she came back from surgery. I mean, she's back on it like nothing's ever happened. Kai McKenna from Black and Brave. Her and I did a match together at a all-women show of 3 matches, but we had a great match.
There you go. It's a silver lining.
It really was. She's great. She's out there working, I think East Coast. She's in Iowa in the summertime, so I'm trying to get her to hit Midwest back up again.
Maybe you never know. I mean, maybe
you never know. Masha's been that one. I think I'd have a great time just having a freaking bruiser match. Like, just I love to hit people. She loves to hit. I think that would just
and I think that there are plenty of women wrestlers out there that will do the ground and pound as opposed to the flippy shit. Although the flippy shit is very in vogue right now.
My ass don't leave the ground.
So you're not going to get up and move anybody.
No, me and I will go with what Gringo Loco says. I am the base guy.
What did you think when you saw if you saw Toni Storm and Mariah May?
Oh my, Toni Storm's character, I think, is the greatest thing ever right now.
Boy, sure, her promo on Megan Bayne.
I don't know who is writing those promos. I don't know if she's writing them or it's like a group of people, but been some of the best things I have ever listened to.
You know, the best part about that is Megan Bayne is getting serious TV time, and
Megan Bayne looks amazing.
She is such a nice person. So it's nice. She's always very nice when she came to visit CSW. So
oh my God, I saw her. I think she did a show at Dreamwave prior to getting. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know when she got signed, but like when her debut was, and she like took it seriously, and like she was great already. But I was like, wow, she really cut up and like toned it out and is like, I'm gonna go throw somebody.
I'm always very excited when somebody comes up to commentary and says, "Hey, do you have any questions about what I'm doing tonight?" And she was one that came up and actually asked us. So, it's a respect thing. And I
Mhm.
think he's been around long enough to know that if you give commentators good talking points and information that you want put over, they'll do it and
Yeah,
it'll make the match better. I sit at the desk an hour before every show,
I know.
completely available. Nobody takes advantage of it. Or should I say very few? Some people take advantage of it, but not everybody. And they should, because the more I know about what you're trying to sell, the better I can sell it.
You just sell that I'm amazing when I'm there.
We do try to sell that. Or if I'm mad at you, then then I sell that I'm mad. But that's okay. I'm not I have been mad at you in the past, but at least right now, we're cool.
Yeah.
You get one more match.
You get
One more.
you
It's
get
your
one.
final match. Where do you want to do it and who do you want to do it with?
Oh, I don't even know yet. I gotta see how this body holds up. I don't know yet because, like I said, I don't know what's coming through the Liberty division, which I think for me, that is going to be me using that as in my finer aged life. Like I can still hang with 20-year-old girls.
I just saw an asshat grab a hat.
Well, I've got the little one's got to get something. He's got to go potty, so leave him
Oh,
alone.
there's my friend. Oh, Jesus. I got flipped off by the boy.
Yeah.
Little man's got to do
There he
something.
is. He knew I knew he was gonna get time. I knew he was gonna show up.
No, he said that little man had to use the bathroom and I can't, sit there and tell my, hey, by the way, sweetie, just make it on the couch.
Rub some dirt on it.
Hold it.
All right, Red. Of all the people we have on this show, nobody deserves flowers more than Angel does. Roll scene.
She knows how. She knows.
Come on.
Shut up, Steve. Damn.
Don't yell at Red.
She knows how I feel about her.
Yeah, Red loves me.
You know,
We've spent
years.
I'm sitting there like, because everybody goes by when they start the business and they keep wrestling. So, I mean, my God, I got picked up Boz found me in a gym, and that's how I got into wrestling.
I mean, she has always, and I'm going to say this, and I always say this, public. They have been two of my biggest supporters in my darkest hours. They don't give a shit the time they reach out. They let me know how they feel about me. I've had some embarrassing moments where I've broken down in front of them, and they let me know that I'm still loved. My favorite story um, is the night I broke my arm and she tried to I don't think it's broke, Red. I don't think it's broke, but you should have it looked at.
Yeah.
And
Lies.
I was dating my now wife. It was her very first show of seeing me wrestle. So I was I'm like, look, you just got to do what you can, girl. I can't go out there with her. This is a horrible date if I go back with a broken fucking arm. And she was like, no, no. Only to go to work 2 days later and that shit was broke.
I feel like you would have yelled at me more if it was.
No, because it wasn't your fault. Me listening to fucking Willie. But the fact that I love the person. She has always been a sweetheart to me. I've seen her be a bitch.
No. What?
I've seen her go the fuck off in the locker room. I've there are some opponents that she's being real nice about that she's not mentioning that when she came to the back, she was pissed as shit. And I was like, ooh, I'm glad I'm gonna stay away from that side of the locker room for the next 10 minutes. Cause she is gonna whoop somebody ass. But outside the ring, she is a beautiful spirit, an awesome mother. Um, I don't know half the time, especially when I was working SCW, how the fuck she got matches done, tending to her son, and so trying to be mommy, but then I've got to be Angel. I've got, oh, there's our fucking music.
Okay, we gotta
Okay.
go.
Right. Like, oh, fuck. So she instantly turns on the Angel, goes out there, beats somebody's ass, comes back, and now she's back to being mommy, and it's like, that's when you can see it. It's awesome. I appreciate it because when it was my kids, you don't appreciate it in the moment because you're going so fast and you're just going. But when you can see somebody else do it that's genuine and good at it,
Oh,
then you can
it's worth
appreciate
it.
it.
It's worth it.
She I don't think she gets the credit she deserves, especially in the Chicago area. She is one of our, she's, you always talk about like Marche, other people that are our hidden gems. No, she's one of them. She has worked her ass off for years. One of the technically best sound workers in the business. Uh, I put her up against anybody, anywhere. That's how good she is. She can get into the ring. I don't give a fuck. She can get in the ring right now with Rhea Ripley, and I guarantee you they would have a fucking hell of a match. If you want to wrestle, she can wrestle. If you want to fight, she can fucking fight. Like, she gives two shits about it.
Mhm.
Whatever's called for that
Certainly would
night.
be two dominant personalities, that's for sure.
Hey, I pay to see it. Shit.
Should I pay to see it?
Yeah. I just asked you take down. Anyway, um, so with that being said, uh, Chris, I love you.
Love you too, Red.
I will always be indebted uh, to you and your husband for your again my darkest hours.
Red,
And
you don't owe us anything for that.
and people, I think I mentioned it before, but people don't understand. Uh, Suicide is a real thing,
No doubt.
and there were at least two times where I was done. I'm checking the fuck out. Hadn't figured out how, but I knew I can't take what I was dealing with at the time. I can't take it anymore. Uh, I'm going to end this pain. And they are the two that talked me the fuck off the ledge. Uh, Literally text, and then that shit I guess wasn't working for them. They picked up the fucking phone. Was like, look, no, we love you. So I, will forever be indebted, forever in to you guys. I love you so much. And keep doing what you're doing, shit.
That's the plan.
I ain't mad at you. Shit, I took my sabbatical, but every now and then I get that itch. Like,
Oh, I know.
the crazy part is I just found my boots, and I wasn't looking for them. I was looking for
Sign,
stuff
Red.
that,
It's a sign.
and I saw them, and I was like, "Ooh, I thought those were in my bag. They're not. Uh-oh."
It's a sign.
I threw them somewhere else. Like,
Uh-huh.
whatever.
I have smelled a rat since December.
I don't know why, because I haven't wrestled.
December the month.
I haven't wrestled, so
Yeah, leave Red alone.
All right, I'll leave him alone. Very nicely done with the flowers, Red. Very deserved. While we're here and while we've got you for a little bit longer, let's talk a little bit about what's happening at Frontline, since you are a Frontline superstar, and you will
Not
be
yet, not officially.
Not
We're
officially,
still in
but
hostile negotiations.
pending, frontline superstar pending.
Thank you.
We've got quite a little show happening
We do.
this Saturday at the Bakerville Bar in
Mhm.
Marshfield, Wisconsin. I'm looking at this card going, geez, how am I going to have energy for all of this? And since you're married to one of them, let's start with that one.
Okay.
Fatal four-way match.
Mm-hmm.
Quinn Whittick,
Mm-hmm.
Sexy Violence versus Rita Satlas versus Adam Grace versus you know,
The savior.
the Savior. To me, how does he prepare for that match?
Like we prepare for every match.
I mean, there are people in there stronger than him.
Mm.
There are people in there faster than him. There's a guy in there that's just straight up better than him. How does the Rapture is that the end game here? Does the Rapture come and tilt the scales? Because that's pretty much business as usual. Is Ken gonna show up and help him win the fatal?
Oh, don't be mad at your best friend.
He's lucky he's not going to be there this particular.
Is this a four-way or is this a ladder match? What is the stipulation? Is there
fatal four-way match is all I see in my notes.
Fatal four-way. Okay. So we have the Savior, the Rapture. I mean, let's be honest. What, 25 years in the business? I mean, do the three of them even have 25 years combined?
Are they 25 years old?
I mean, I don't even know. They're all like, I don't even know. But all I'm saying is, there's always a plan, Steve. There's always a plan. You, of all people, should know there's always a plan. There's a plan A, there's a plan B, there's probably a plan double XYZ. There's always a plan.
And I know, and he's good at making plans, but he's got very stiff competition in this match. Red, who you picking?
The people you don't want me to pick.
Exactly. Even he knows.
You're really picking the Savior.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me why.
You forgot me and this dude ran up and down the roads together. I already know how he fucking think. I wasn't surprised by none of this shit. You seem to be
shocked.
Right. Every time
you're
somebody, oh, I don't believe. Why are you shocked?
Why are you shocked that Kenny Anderson, I should say, not Ken Shamrock, sorry, UFC.
Now that would be impressive.
That would be good. But Kenny Anderson, I mean, my God.
I mean,
why hang? Who was he? Who was Kenny Anderson going to hang with that was going to elevate any higher than Kenny Anderson already is? The Rapture.
I'm just saying, first of all, we all know Xavier has a gift of gab. If nothing else.
Oh my God, he's so good at it. I mean, my God.
Like, again, he can convince the devil to put in AC. Okay? So,
I mean,
why do you sit here week after week, month after month, and then get shot? He did that. Like,
he turned on Ben. Are you surprised?
Like, let's go back. Didn't he do that in Crash Testing?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Didn't he do that in Dreamwave? Yes. Did he do that in SCW? Yeah. Like,
I mean, I'm pretty sure he turned on Marco too at some point.
Like, have you not been looking at the scorecard? Like, it's even
10 years worth. I mean, that's been 10 years of.
To be fair,
turns.
I warned everybody what his arrival
you did not do a very good job because no one believed you.
Yeah, they hate me there anyway. Anyway, moving on. Quinn Whittick wins that match, and it's not even close.
Okay.
The next match, the Liberty Division match, should be very interesting to you because either one of these people could be your opponent down the road. Rory Shield versus Ray Larson. Now, Rory Shield has a lot to prove because Sierra just bested her a few months back.
Yep, I saw that match.
But she has got something to prove now. And Ray Larson appears to be stalking her because we just saw a very interesting promo cut in a hotel by Ms. Shield a little bit earlier today on social media. So the tension is heating up for this match. Who do you like?
I don't know. I'm just gonna go there and just scope out competition.
So you are going to be in attendance
I
at a call to arms.
possibly can be in attendance,
Oh,
yes.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, Steve, I've missed you. I mean, let's be
I
honest here.
don't
Someone's
believe
got
you've
it. I
missed
want
me
to come.
that much.
I want to come sit on commentary during like at least the first two matches.
Well, you
And
can try. I mean, Annie will kick your ass, but that's neither here nor there.
she won't. I'm sure I can talk Chris into sharing some mic time.
She's a fighter, that one, so you better watch yourself.
Okay.
Uh Rory Shield needs a win here, so I think Rory Shield will get it. But Ray Larson is going to give her what for. Red, what do you think?
I'm not familiar with neither one of these ladies, so I'm gonna say it don't matter because at the end of the day, if they face Angel, they're gonna get their ass kicked.
All right. Real quick, let's run through the rest of it. This match, you want to talk about main event any other day, any other show? You have got Shaq Jordan versus the Warhorse.
Mm,
What?
Uh-oh. Let's go. Uh-oh. There's a story.
no, just two different styles.
I like the Warhorse.
If I pick Warhorse, it's by hair. Uh,
Are you
and I'm
taking
going,
experience?
yeah, that's what I'm going on. Yeah. So
So okay, so you don't. I mean, right now, Shaq Jordan and I have a bit of a strained relationship after what he did to me at Rocket Pro.
What did
But
you
I think
okay, what did you do to have him do something to you?
I sat. It was in an in-ring interview. I sat down. I asked him 3 questions, and he punched me in the face and then cracked me over the back with a chair.
Beat Aaron too.
You can see it live on, well, not live necessarily, but you can see it on the Rocket Pro Wrestling YouTube page. And my questions were not inflammatory. I did call him a punk, but that's because he's disappointing his trainer, Shogun Chris Logan, but that's another story.
Okay.
Uh, Shaq Jordan is amazing, but Jake Parnell is on another level. So I think Shaq makes it a game, but in the end, the Warhorse might be the best wrestler working the Indies right now. Another match that should be main event: Hartenbauer and Backwoods Brown.
I'm just gonna watch Murder Death Kill.
I mean, there's going to be
I'm
a
gonna take
nuclear bomb
backwards on it. I think I'm gonna take backwards on it, but it's gonna be either because he physically Hartenbauer is unconscious.
Red.
you know I'm picking Backwoods.
Hartenbauer's tough, but it's Backwoods' world.
I'm just that one's just gonna be that's gonna be a bruiser for that one's gonna be a bruiser.
In what might be one of the greatest tag team triple threat matches I've ever seen, the Crucible versus Tag Team Move versus the New Guys. If you haven't seen the New Guys, go
I
find
saw
them.
the new guys.
They're amazing. To me, the Crucible is one of the best teams that's not signed that I've ever seen. So I might.
Who's my third option?
It's Tag Team Move. I mean, there's no. This could be a draw. This could be, the ring could break. I mean, I'd pick the Crucible in this one, but that doesn't mean the New Guys and Tag Team Move couldn't win it. This is an epic. This is 3 of the best tag teams in the business right now.
I'll judge on Saturday. I'll let you know Saturday after the match who I pick.
Ed, what are your thoughts?
The New Guys.
Oh, hey, those are Warhorses, boys, so that should be pretty interesting.
Oh, those okay. That's okay.
There's a new show. It's a couple Disco Ray's little show called Freedom of Speech with Coda Jacobs, and his guests on his first spot are the tag team Thunder and Lightning. That's Donis Allen, the Thundercat, and Kid Lat. Should be very spirited.
Oh, him and Meat Sauce broke up?
No, they're still there. But Meat Sauce has a match. We'll talk about that in a minute. But Meat Sauce has got other things to do with that heavyweight title. So we'll look forward to Coda Jacobs. It's always good to have him in the building, even though he's a prick. The Bakerville title is up for grabs. Jared Jacks defends the belt that only he has possessed thus far, taking on Joe Alonzo. And I think we all know Joe Alonzo.
I don't know Joe.
You don't know Joe Alonzo? Joe Alonzo, NWA superstar. He's been man, he's pretty good, but he's also pretty confident in his own abilities. He and BT didn't get along well.
Well, when Aaron told me how old our Bakerville champion was, I was like, no way.
Yeah. Hey, and he's on the run of a lifetime as Jared Jacks right now.
Oh
So
yeah.
to me, Jared Jacks will find a way to win, but Joe Alonzo being the Bakerville champion, I can see it. I would not like it. Uh, the championship, as we said, we talked about Meat Sauce. He's taking on Darren Corbin. Red, what say you about Meat Sauce? Josh Price, the wrecker, taking on Darren Corbin.
I gotta
Uh,
take Meat Sauce.
and see, you always put me against my friends.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna still
faster
gonna
that way.
I'm gonna go with Darren.
I love Darren, but I'm gonna go with Meat Sauce.
Meat Sauce, he's the flavor of the month, and he's going to win this match.
Mm.
Which brings us to the match that could stop time. The unsanctioned battle. Joey Jet Avalon, do you want to see a dead body? King Shit of Fuck Mountain taking on Bulletproof Ben McCoy, the former creator, in an unsanctioned match. And this might be the final chapter in that story because might not both of them be walking away.
Don't care.
Red, what do you say?
Should I just say don't care?
I do, and I
Whose
don't.
dead body? Whose dead body do you want to see?
Nobody, because everybody's got a valid point. See, I don't know the history before now. Now
So
I know.
basically, I'll break it down for you. Ben pissed off a lot of people as the
Myself included.
Oh, well, you had it coming.
Did not have it coming.
You always have it coming. So anyway, Ben pissed off a lot of people. Aaron did Aaron and said, you gone. And now we don't have any friends. And now we're looking for help. And Steve can correct me on this. Now we're looking for help. But, sometimes you got to go through hell before you get a friend.
Yeah, but I mean, again, I know I see Avalon's point of Ben has fucked me in the past, so fuck Ben. I can't stand your ass. And now then Sierra decides to jump in and not necessarily to help Ben, but to help his daughter. But the way Joey is seeing it is like you're still siding with the fucking enemy.
You are
So
overanalyzing everything.
No, I'm not.
You are
Let him do it.
Here's how this is going to end. And there's
no
way it doesn't
dead bodies.
end like this. They will fight. They will beat the shit out of each other. And then the motherfucking Rapture will show up. Because that's what they do.
Why?
Because Aaron Xavier has a plan. And we saw how his plan worked against
last time I checked the card, the Fallen Angel's not going to be there.
It doesn't matter. He already has a plan. So you probably already know this bullshit's going down.
No, I don't. I know nothing about what the Rapture is doing. I am not part of the Rapture. In the Liberty division, I will stand on my own. I've done it before.
Facts.
So
I love you so much, but you playing the innocent, not
I am. I'm not even. I am just going to frontline to scout competition, watch some wrestling, have a drink or two, have some fun.
Or 3.
I call bullshit, and we'll see.
What am I going to do? Why? Like I said earlier,
I
don't care if they both fall off into a black bag. I'll see 2 dead bodies. I'll go get Joey Shovel. I'll dig the hole.
She probably will.
I mean, I've seen the ditch outside the bar.
There's a lot of ditches out there, no doubt about that.
And a cornfield.
It's true. Angel, it's been a pleasure having you on. Thank you so much for taking time. And we will look forward to seeing you this Saturday in Marshfield, Wisconsin, Frontline Pro, a call to arms. And hopefully your husband doesn't end up dead, or maybe Colt or Evan Bourne will be available.
Hey, that was a great once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I cannot lie. Still looks good on TV. Still looks good.
I love you, Angel. Take care. Thank you for coming.
No problem.
We'll see you
Love
Saturday.
you.
Bye. Mwah.
All right, that is the magnificent Angel. You can catch her in the Liberty division, hopefully at Frontline Pro and other places. And I don't know where we'll find her, but we'll find her. Or you can stay. You can go or you can stay, whatever you want to do.
I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna listen.
All right, she's gonna stay. So we're gonna bring in our CKO representative. Abbas the goat is going to join us so we can talk a little bit about the shenanigans that happened on Saturday at the Chicago Knockouts. So we'll give Abbas, hey, there's the goat.
There we go.
How are you, sir?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Thank you
I'm
for
trying to.
hitting for Cactus tonight. Say hello to Angel, wrestling superstar.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
And then, of course, you know C Red, the host of the Power Hour.
The
Thank you
extremely
for my good luck.
patient with us host of Power Hour, if I recall correctly.
Very, very.
So let's talk a little bit roller derby and all of the crazy shenanigans that happened this past Saturday night. There were fights, there was bad blood, and there was literal blood. What was the most shocking thing that you saw?
Oh my God, man. Sorry, I can't figure out how to put my CKO background. I'm on my phone, so I'm sorry. Okay, well, I don't think anyone got choked out this time, but there was definitely, what the hell? Oh man, I have to look back at the tape because at some point, it wasn't a strangling, but somebody was restraining someone. One person, I think Slayla, like elbow smashed somebody after knocking her down.
She went up and did the Macho Man from the top rope and brought
Yes.
that elbow down.
There was that. There was,
On skates.
I recall some kind of weapon again that was being confiscated.
It was a barbed wire bat. Well, how did a
Thank
barbed
you.
wire bat show up in roller derby?
Again, so much of this stuff happens that as a referee, I'm just like, oh, this again, is that what we're doing? And I keep losing track of all of the.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And there was a fight where somebody got drop kicked, wheels first. Now, a drop kick in and of itself is a pretty devastating thing, but when you get drop kicked and you get hit by steel skates, I can't imagine that doesn't feel good.
Yeah, there was. Oh, yeah. At some point, Mindy was on the ground, and then I think somebody was getting. Oh, yeah, somebody might have getting either choked into a mat or thrown into mats multiple times. I think people got like just shoved, and yeah, there exactly like there was.
And the abuse of poor Ricky Ricochet. They put a ghost costume on her. And
oh, thank you. That's what it was. They restrained her with the exactly. They tried to make an example out of her.
It was a lot of high octane stuff, and the score at the end, a lot of controversy happened on the way that show ended. It came right down to the wire, and there had to be some referee. You guys had to get together to make a decision, and that's how close it was. But in the end, the Punishers, they get a much needed win after starting the year 0-1 with that loss to the Crushers.
Yeah, I mean, right. It is always, you don't know what's going to happen. It is always neck and neck the whole time. Even if a team is down by 10 or 12 points or even more, sometimes it just averages out to come back, and it always boils down to the wire at the end. Always. And this is none of the scoring is planned. None of it. It's just the teams are so good at just pushing through, and they need to, that it just boils down to, those last seconds.
It comes down to it all the time. And, the quality of the product since when I started to now, it's like a different world out there. The storytelling that has been incorporated into it, the pomp and circumstance. When I first started, it was very, there were some skirmishes here and there, but nothing like that's happening right now. I mean, it's taking the best of roller derby and almost the best of pro wrestling and kind of melding them together. It's turned into really impressive theater.
Yeah, thank you. And we have to thank you and our other colleagues, our trainers, for that, because they really have helped us, plan, I shouldn't say plan is the wrong word, safely plan our moves. Our movements are planned with safety is what I mean. Like, I don't know what the hell's happening when the fights are happening, because that's not my purview. I wait for the outcome, but I do know that whatever they're going to do, it is done in a way that is going to not injure anybody for real. And we wouldn't have been able to figure out how to do these things that we're doing without the training that we've had. There's no way, because that is an art form, right? You can't just start. Exactly. You can't drop kick people on roller skates safely without practicing how to do that. And you can learn how to do it on your own if you're really dedicated and you don't mind injuring yourself, doing it the wrong way and learning the hard way. But if you've got the right instruction just to guide you, which thankfully we have because of the wrestling community, we're very fortunate that they're just like all about it. But they're also saying, if you're doing this in this way, you need to be aware of this. And then, yeah.
Did you hear at halftime, Rion Skills saved my life?
From one of the skaters?
Here's what happened. So the show starts, and I was working with Ocho, and we're warming up the crowd, and I look up in my peripherals, and I see a very familiar face in the stands. Guess who came to roller derby on Saturday night there, C-Red?
Shaq.
My good friend Shaq Jordan was there observing, and Shaq Jordan has been on this show, and Shaq Jordan has been in my face, and he has run the knockouts down everywhere he can because he feels that, I guess the way he put it, kind of like wannabe wrestling is kind of the point he was trying to make. And since I am a wannabe in the wrestling business, that my affiliation with the knockouts, that's where I belong. Since you don't really know what you're doing, go hang out with these people that don't know what they're doing. Well, he has no fucking idea what's going on at the knockouts, but maybe he has a little bit better idea now. So at one point, we're getting close to halftime, and Ocho and I were on commentary talking about, shitty wrestling. And I said, well, that guy's one of the shittiest wrestlers I've ever seen. Well, halftime goes on and everybody goes to the back and they do their thing. And with about 10 minutes left, all of a sudden, Shaq stands up and starts walking down, screaming my name like he was going to come and assault me. So he jumps over the stairs, and that's when Rion cut him off. And Rion had a conversation with him, finally getting Shaq out the door and out of the building. So I wasn't expecting it.
Wow.
Shaq, if you want some, come get some. But it was a moment that this got very real for me because, I'm not there as a wrestler. I'm there as a commentator. I'm there to support the knockouts and to do the job that I'm there to do. I was not expecting the worlds to collide like that. So thanks to Rion Skills, who's not here tonight, but he certainly did me a solid by keeping that man from coming up to the stage and, potentially ruining our show because, Shaq doesn't care. He might have thrown the monitors around. He might have knocked over the table. All the work that you did to set everything up, he could have undone in a millisecond.
Yeah, I would have been a little upset. I'd be like, my guy, you know how much time this takes? What are you doing? Why, like, can we not use our words?
Yeah, and that's the thing.
It's hard enough to control the knockouts as it is. I gotta call penalties on these people that are moving high velocity on skates. And now you can't, if you start encouraging the audience to get in on the racket, like it's going to be absolute chaos.
The good news is I don't think anybody in the crowd got what was going on. I certainly did because he was coming right at me. So I think that, I think it just was, it was water under the bridge for everybody who was there. I don't think anybody realized what had happened. I certainly had. And as we move forward, as we go to spring break at Rocket Pro on April 12th, what's the date on? What's Rocket Pro's date?
That's the date.
That's the date. All right. So as we go to that, that'll tell the tale. But boy, that's something I didn't want to have happen because I could have ruined the show. And knockouts first as far as I'm concerned. But boy, wrestling and roller derby, and again, the way he runs it down, I just I feel like kicking his ass sometimes because I feel like he doesn't know what he's talking about because I started off not knowing what roller derby was, and now I think there are some nights that it's more violent than wrestling, and I see some shit in the wrestling ring.
Man, yeah, I appreciate that Shaq came out and observed the bout. That was nice of him to just like come check it out at least. But yeah, I would encourage him to come in and put on some skates and give it a whirl and see what he thinks, and maybe that'll change his mind to maybe, who knows, maybe we'll what's the word I need? Initiate him into the cult. Although we're not a cult, so
Well,
Let me think
we've
of
seen some pretty good wrestlers. Aaron Stone has been a fight ref. The Bro Bros have been fight
yeah.
refs. Obviously, Rion is one of the head fight refs. Daddy Andy. These are all well-known professional wrestling personalities. Russell, before he became the queen of wrestling, came out and did some fight refing. I don't know how
Yeah.
that will go right
He did
now.
announcing too, right? Or no?
I don't. Maybe he did. That's possible.
I thought he did announcing, but
I
Hey,
hope he
he
never
wait.
does.
he'll fit perfect right now in roller derby.
Oh,
Fit
great.
Yeah. I
Wait,
hope.
so Rion intercepted Shaq like quickly?
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Rion sees everything. You know
Well,
that's
I mean, I think so, but that's what I'm wondering. Like half the time we're trying to flag him down when the fights break out. I'm like, Rion, where'd you go? I mean, he's probably handling a lot because he's probably trying to keep others at bay, and then these fights break out. But I'm just like, I wish we had a way to like summon him a little more rapidly. Um,
well. I mean, he certainly twerked pretty well. Did you catch that?
oh, that was definitely the highlight of the show. Rion
Yeah,
twerking was
Rion got
just
in a
like,
twerking competition with
if
Michael
people
Myers.
missed it, they missed it. I mean, like, come on. You
It
never know what
happened.
you're going to expect there. And if you missed, if you
It
missed
happened.
March, you missed Rion twerking. I'm sorry. I don't know that it's ever going to happen again. And I'm happy that I was right there, had a direct line of sight. I was like, okay, I love what's going on over here, but I just saw this man, this incredible human being twerk, and I don't know where to go from there.
I asked. He started dancing, and I asked the crowd, "Do you want to see Rion Skills twerk?" And the crowd got loud, and Rion had no choice. Be careful what you ask for.
That's true.
Always a catch, Rion, wherever you are right now. Always a catch. So I think Rion wanted to kill me after that. Fortunately, that happened in the second half after halftime. So I don't think if the twerking incident happened prior to the Shaq Jordan incident,
Yeah.
I might have gotten the same bodyguard treatment as I got previously because I think I'm on Rion's shit list right now.
He's like, that's the thanks I get, man, after saving your life.
That's it. That's right. But it's always good and it's always fun. And I love the rec league bouts, but there's something distinctively different about the intensity of the Premier League. It really was very chippy. Ricky Ricochet is one of my favorite skaters because of how hard she goes and how hard she hits. Her elbows are like lethal weapons. And I would like to see Shaq Jordan get involved in a conversation about violence with Ricky Ricochet because she killed that boy.
Yeah, I may be biased a little bit, but I would have to say, yeah, I don't think you'd want to get into skirmish with her. Like you're done. Like she's knocked the fuck out of people before, and she will continue to do that. She's just, you know, she's an incredible blocker. She's just a phenomenal skater and an incredible blocker. And don't just don't fuck with it.
It's about the speed. It's about the ability to prepare defensively and offensively. The more I watch it and the more I call it, it's a testament to what's happening in the pack. I mean, the Jammers are wonderful. They're superstars. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the Jammers are scoring the points, but I have been more interested of late in the packs because what the packs are doing, the decisions they're making, changing positions, to give their jammer a path. It's like an offensive and defensive line trying to make holes. And it really is very cerebral the way they do it. And I was pretty impressed, especially this bout, because it happened a lot. What do you think about the intricacies of offense and defense when it comes to the pack?
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that you asked about this. And again, take it for what it's worth, given I'm part of the league, but I will absolutely concur. I've been saying this to a lot of people as well as I've witnessed the knockouts for the last 6 years grow into where they're at now. And yeah, the level of gameplay is a lot faster, a lot harder, a lot more sophisticated than it ever has been. It's real. I mean, again, this goes back to we really need our own facility, permanent home with the bigger track. But given the space that we have, yeah, they are playing a very intense game, which is still fun to watch. I think people are still going to get a lot out of it. But so I had been previously trying to encourage people to get involved in reffing. We were always sometimes worried about getting enough people going. Then we had enough people going, but we didn't always have enough people to referee, and at least not necessarily jam referee. So I've always consistently said I'm obviously there as a jam ref. We always had one other person available, sometimes outside the league. In the last year or so, we've got regular other people that are refereeing, but generally it's a skater that may not be bouting, and so therefore they're refereeing, but it's always been like me and one other person. Now we finally have several other people, some of whom have come back to start training for being refereeing more regularly. But I then stepped in and said, you know what, you really got to do some training because the level of gameplay is a lot higher than it was even 2 years ago. And it's not fair to toss somebody in to just start jam refereeing like cold. Like at this point, it's too fast. They score so quickly. There's all these little things you got to watch for. There's more jammer points, the lap points happening now than ever have happened, which is where you might have seen this number of times where the one jammer just gets stuck in the pack, never clears out. The defense this time was incredible. Like there were several jams where there was no points, several jam where only one or the other jammer scored because the one jammer got stuck. And I was just like, oh my God, your defensive strategies. So when the other jammer gets stuck and the other jammer laps them all the way around, they get the 5th point, which has been very rare. Also, thanks for listening. If you're watching the clock in the past with getting around, I had kind of observed it would take, by the time they got caught up to the pack, it would be about 20 seconds, 15 to 20 seconds left to try and score. This time they're catching up to the pack in about 20, 30 seconds. So they've got another 10 or 20 seconds of trying to score and maybe even scoring possibly a second time. So it's just, and the pack was moving a lot faster on top of it. So everything is just elevated. All of this strategic training, little drill by drill by drill, is now elevated into the teams, the rosters are filling up. There's more like outside of practice team building going on. Everything is really coalescing. And then exactly what you said, the rec league is a nice way for folks that are just getting their feet wet with it, their skates wet, if you will, to just sort of ease into this process, not play at this level, play at this still a competitive level, but it's not, you're not playing against people that could just, knock you around.
It's on the job training. Your point about the pack was very well taken because even some of the stalwart superstars like a Boss and Bikini Thrill had trouble getting through the pack many times. Over Saturday. Usually they're the points makers and they made their points, but I just thought they got stopped more times than I'm used to seeing. And we invented a new drinking game at the knockouts. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Boss in the Box. Because she was in there like 6 times. She got ejected. So now each month I think I'm gonna bring a bottle of whiskey next month and I'm gonna set it up next to my broadcast colleague. And every time Boss gets put in the box, we're gonna drink. And if I have to drink more than 3 of those shots, commentary will be very interesting in the second half.
I'm all about it. I'm a designated driver. I don't drink, but so I got you. So absolutely.
It's good to have one, especially with the delicious spirits that Rabid Brewing put out there. The Lime Ricky Ricochet and the Slayla Punch went head to head, and from what I hear, Ricky Ricochet's beverage sold out quicker than Slayla's Punch.
Wow, yeah, that's and then there's a shout out, an artist I'd like to shout out, Holly Bradley, who has been making a lot of sketches of knockouts, just like fan sketches, and they're fucking awesome. Like they're just beautiful. They're such a lovely tribute, and it's so kind. And the most recent one was Ricky and Grumpy, and these are awesome. I one day I hope we could sell prints of those or something like that because they're just so cool. They're like, I love them so much. Yeah,
they are amazing. The next bout is April 19th in Homewood. That is a premier bout. So not exactly sure who's playing yet, but that will show up on social media.
Crushers and Rumblers.
Okay, so it's red versus blue, a storied rivalry. Man, that just gets better and better as we go down that road, doesn't it? And hopefully Shaq won't show up on the 19th because he and I are going to see each other on the 12th at Rocket Pro, and boy, am I going to see that dude. So
April 12th.
April 12th.
Oh, the week. Okay. Oh,
Joliet, Illinois, the week before. Shaq's got a match against my friend Aaron Stone. So that ought to be something. So, boy, stay tuned.
Thanks,
Thank you so much for stopping in and picking up for for Cactus, who was not available tonight. It's good to have a knockout on to talk about the knockouts. And you are the magical knockout that makes everything the straw that stirs the drink, and everybody knows it.
Well, thank you. I'm happy. I'm privileged and happy to just be able to be part of this whole enterprise. So I just thank you guys. This is magnificent. Thank you for giving us space to discuss this, and thank you for being there and just giving us. Oh, I wanted to tell you real quick. Sorry, I put that little extra crowd mic the other day, and I went back and listened to it, and it was awesome. It worked. It really. I want to play it back for you because it really livened up the when you before when we didn't have the crowd mics, when it was going over the stream, it was you and the other person commentary. Your commentary is always wonderful, but it's just very vanilla because there's no other like ambient noise. With that single crowd mic, we got enough to where it spiced it up where you could hear a lot of the cheering in the background, and then with you guys on it, that gives people something to attach it to. And it was like, oh, this is terrific. I got to work on the sounds and the just the effects a little bit to clean it up, but that was awesome. And it gave us an idea of like maybe streaming over audio, like a radio stream, like you're like old school listening to a sportscast over the radio. And I'm like, dude, Steve and Ocho and Steve or Mouthpiece would be perfect. Like you guys would. I want to hear that. I'm going to go back and listen to one of the bouts, the audio of you guys announcing. And I think it is just ripe for this. I would love to hear someone hear what it's, even if they can't maybe watch it on video, they could just, tune in on an audio app or something, and that would be incredible. So,
Like an old baseball or football broadcast.
absolutely.
I get to be roller derby's Vin Scully.
Yeah. That's so I will work with you on this. We'll do some. I'm gonna
It'll be
keep
my
you
pleasure
posted.
to be a part of it, I assure you. Abbas, thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. I will see you in April, and I'll look forward to it. You have a good night, my friend. It's always a pleasure.
You too. Thank you guys so much. Take care, everyone.
All right,
Take
that is,
care.
of course, the GOAT of Menendez, one of the top knockouts in the world, and as you can see, Red, it's been a hell of a show. We've had
Yeah.
some fun, right? We talked about the knockouts, even though Cactus wasn't here. We talked about Frontline Pro. We got Angel, and that's the first time we've really had Angel by herself without
Yeah.
Aaron. I mean, obviously, Aaron cut in a couple of times, but nothing egregious like I was expecting. She's been around a long time, and she's been a part of our world for a long time. It's nice to hear her tell her stories and have her fun, isn't it?
Very true. It was a good
So,
time.
we have one more point of business before we say goodnight tonight. And then I reveal to you who our guest is next week, which I've been waiting a long time to do. So we'll get through talking about Chicago style wrestling. Brought us figure 4-leaf clover this past Friday, and we picked it. And let's go through some of the things that happened. First of all, we talked about Lily and Shaza. They were going to have their one-on-one match, and that's how the show started. And on commentary, it was a new team. I got introduced to a person I'd never met before. His name is Thatcher. He is very young, but he was incredibly good at what he did. And Wade Hunt, the ring announcer, is kind of our guy that kind of comes in and out because he's ring announcing as well. So it was a different dynamic, but Figure 4-leaf clover was a very impressive show for a number of reasons. We talked about the Hate Keepers and them kind of burning away and dying. The last two are Warhorse and Shaz McKenzie. And Warhorse brought her out, just like Iniestra brought out Lily, but Warhorse kind of left her and kind of berated her a little bit before he left her. So in the end, Lily gets the win.
Ah, okay.
You were right. You were right. But it started what ended up being a very long night for Shazza McKenzie. She is a terrific athlete. She is a great, accomplished wrestler who's done many things in this business, and I kind of feel like she's getting the shaft right now. And you'll find out why when we talk a little later about Warhorse's match against Maggie. Have you seen Axel Rico's latest incarnation?
I tried to follow it. Nothing that
he has one of the coolest entrances right now. I'm not going to say it's an Undertaker entrance, but when he comes out, all the house lights go out. And they finally got it to a point where when they bring the house lights down, it is pitch black. And then there's a video and a light presentation, and then Axel comes out, and that crowd loves Axel Rico. He was the Green Power Ranger for St. Patrick's Day this time, and he fought FXB.
Right.
And FXB, been on a roll. He's tough. He's a bad dude, but Axel Rico, crowd favorite, got the win. I think you picked that one too.
Yep.
We had Quintero. Well, yeah, let's do that one next. Quintero versus Hans Carden for the Metro title. Who'd you pick?
I picked Hans.
You were correct. With an assist from Iniestra, Hans Carden is your new Metro Division champion. But here's the thing. That has set off something that, as general manager, I'm going to have to deal with at some point. Because now the bad blood between Iniestra and Quintero is real. And Iniestra cost Quintero his much beloved Metro Division title. And Hans Carden is your new Metro Division champ. Not that I'm not a little happy for Hans, because he's worked his ass off to get where he is. So part of me feels kind of happy that he's a champion, but not the way I wanted to see it, that's for sure. The Fatal 4-Way. Shane Boucher versus Iniestra versus Gringo Loco versus Swoggle. We have now started a streak in tune with The Undertaker. At the March shows,
Swoggle can't be beat.
Is 4-0.
Can't be beat.
And he says, I guess I'll see you next March, Chicago. And we were talking after the show was over. I'm like, you kind of got an Undertaker streak going here. He's like, does that mean I get to be the American Badass? Can you imagine Swoggle riding out to the ring on a bike or a moped or something? I
would die.
I would
love to see it.
And he play the music. He'll get a little Kid Rock going in there and have the. I mean, there's so much you could do. It's the Swoggle streak at CM. I'd make T-shirts. We just make a graphic. It would be great. But Gringo and Boucher, they're terrific wrestlers. The match was very enjoyable. I encourage you to watch it on IWTV. Iniestra had opportunities, but guess who cost him that match? Quintero. So Quintero cost Iniestra. Iniestra cost Quintero. I have a feeling this is coming down to bloodshed. And I'm going to have to figure out how to make this right. And I will figure out a way to make this right. CSW got to meet OVW superstar J-Rod, who challenged Amina Belmont for the win, for the CSW women's title. And J-Rod, I've never seen her perform live before. She is everything she has been made to be. She is the ultimate athlete. She is physically gifted. She wrestles her ass off. But somehow, some way, despite every roadblock I put in her way, Amina Belmont got the W and is still your CSW women's champion. And then it got ugly at the end, and J-Rod got dinged up and hurt, and Amina went crazy and started to bludgeon her with the belt. And guess who came in for the save?
I can't think of her name. The one that got
Spider-Woman.
Who?
Spider-Woman.
Spider-Woman.
Blair Onyx.
Oh.
Came in for the save. So I don't know what that means moving forward. Actually, I know exactly what that means moving forward. But Blair Onyx was there, helped J-Rod out of the ring. And, we are just getting started on what might be a brand new rivalry. We talked a little bit earlier on the show about Warhorse versus Maggie Lee with Angel. I want to tell you what, Who'd you pick?
Maggie.
As did I, and we were both right. And it was not a match where shenanigans happened, although shenanigans did happen a little bit at the end. But the shenanigans did not create the pinfall situation. But as the match, and they put each other through hell. At one point, Maggie gave him a pile driver on the concrete floor. And Jake threw her out. I mean, there's just back and forth. There was punishment to go. They kicked out of each other's finishing moves twice. It just feel like they couldn't do anything to put each other away. Shazza came out and handed Parnell the brass knuckles, dropped him, he missed, and then Maggie ended up getting the roll up and the win. So Maggie that might be one of her biggest wins of her career. To beat someone like Warhorse straight up. I mean, it's amazing, right?
Well, we would say
she-
it straight up.
She's a Dreamwave champion, for God's sake.
What would Jake say?
Jake would probably whine and cry that he got screwed, and he screwed himself. But what he did after that to dress down Shazza and almost make her cry was just the most disgusting thing I've ever seen.
Can't be shocked.
Well, I'm not shocked, but it didn't seem necessary. So Shazza's got some soul searching to do, and Warhorse is now completely alone. So I don't know what that means for the future, but it's certainly certainly a very interesting situation, that's for sure. The tag team match between Nathan Nile, KJ Carter, Jack Valor, and Eddie Grayson was an appreciation of youth. They all come from the CSW training facility. And the way they got on in that ring, it was electric. High flying, high energy, fast paced. The crowd was enthralled. And in the end, Grayson and Valor get the win. But the final thing you see is these four men shaking hands because they all came up together. They're all brothers. And it's refreshing. And I enjoyed it. And I think you picked it.
Like I work for the company and I don't.
There was a tag team called the Job Squad that debuted. And their title,
Just fuck trademark infringement, huh?
I'm telling you, they got a chance to fight Cypher and Adam Stallion. And you know the two members of this squad.
I do.
One of them is Donovan Marcellus, who I think you have seen before. I know
Okay.
I worked with him in Frontline. He is a tremendous talent. And he has got gold in places, so he's no slouch. But guess who his partner was?
Ooh.
Nobody outshines Nick Diamond.
Okay.
You'll see footage of them getting on the mic and talking their shit. Go look on Nick Diamond's page, and you'll see some footage from them getting their asses whooped. I mean, I'm going to call them the Santino Marella tag team because they weren't in the ring long. And I know you're wondering if Nick Diamond screamed. He screamed.
I'm sure he did.
And Cypher almost put his hand through both these men. So it was incredibly entertaining. And welcome to CSW, boys. Hope you're around longer than a cup of coffee. And that brings us to the match. The match where crazy shit happened. So out comes the Made Men, Boz and Marche. And they had a mystery partner. And we
Okay.
all thought the mystery partner was TJ Steele. It wasn't. Guess who has joined the Made Men?
Jazz.
Bruss. Bruss Hamilton, Marche Rocket, Steve Boz. Look.
I don't know what you gonna do, bro. Sound like your life just got lot more hectic.
It did. And Missa Kate was unable to be a part of Figure Four Leaf Clover. So Tupu and Marston called a friend of theirs, and it's someone Boz and Marche know very, very well. Did you hear who it was?
Yeah, Ego Fantastico.
Ego. Ego showed up, and that place went crazy. Crazy. Ego running his own promotion has time to show up to CSW. And what I mean, it was, I'm going to tell you this. They beat the ponytail off of Boz till his ponytail expanded and it was like a baby mullet. And it was so funny. In the end, the good guys won. But it was just one of those matches that the thing I take away from it is now that Bruss has joined the Made Men and TJ's a part of it, that is a very dangerous four-man group of people. You know, the brass was one thing, right? The brass was one thing. But I don't know about this, Red. How do I fight one of the biggest men in the business, along with Boz and Marche? Marche, one of the great champions of all time. He's going to be, he's going to hold that title as long as he wants to, I'm afraid. And then you've got Boz, who's the Godfather. No offense, Terry Allen. It just, I don't have a good feeling about it. What do you think?
I've been telling you, you're in trouble.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in trouble. I forgot one match before we go. Bruss got taken out of the scramble, so it was Matthews and Drew Montgomery and Jax Johnson and Eric Schultz and Jake Painter, the backbreaking artist. And what a match it was. And Drew Montgomery gets the win.
Oh,
But
wow.
it was great seeing Painter back at CSW because he was a superstar there for a number of years when I was early in my GM role.
Okay.
So great to see the backbreaking artist local again because he was gone for a long time. But now I've seen him at Rocket Pro. I've seen him at CSW. He's making the rounds locally. Hope to see him again real soon. But it was a very entertaining match. We had a lot of fun with it on commentary. Our next event is coming up in April on the 18th in Franklin Park, featuring Natalia Markova from NWA. And we're looking forward to that very much. But did you see the announcement for the May show?
No.
The grand finale of the season. We're not doing that at Franklin Park. We're going back to that giant facility in Elmwood Park. And it's called Nowhere Generation. And we have got Kalisto. We have got Tommy Dreamer.
Oh, I did see the flyer.
And we've got Dijak. So that's quite a that's quite a heavy hitting collection of superstars. That's May 16th in Elmwood Park. That's the finale show of the season. So we've got two big events coming up in April and May. The crowd was hot. They've already sold out the front row for May. Can you believe it? Tickets have been on sale for less than a week. Front row is already sold out in May, saying nothing about what's happening in April. So right now, CSW is on quite the trajectory, and I look forward to seeing where it goes. And as long as I'm in the business and as long as they keep asking me to go, I'm going to go back and do my thing. Red, would you like to know who our guest is on April Fool's Day?
Not really.
Who
Because
is the perfect guest?
might not be here.
You're not going to be here.
Probably
You're gonna
not.
be here. Because I booked this guest just for you.
You can't because it's teacher parent conference.
But it's your show.
What do you want me to tell my parents? Sorry, fuck you. I gotta leave and do a podcast.
That's why we have Zoom. But our guest on April Fool's Day, which is next Tuesday, is none other than C-Red's favorite wrestler. Let me try to get in character here. It's Grin. It's Grin.
Oh, I'm glad I won't be here.
So that's next Tuesday. We want to thank Angel for stopping by and being a great guest. We want to thank, of course, the GOAT of Menendez for joining us to talk knockouts. As always, Red, it's a pleasure working with you. And next Tuesday is Grin. So check out the action this weekend, wherever it might take you. I'll be in Wisconsin, but there's a lot of great shit happening out here locally, too. For the Power Hour, I'm Steve. That is the Urban Station C-Red. And we will catch you next Tuesday night. Parent-teacher conferences be damned. Good night, everybody.